Hey everybody, how we doing today? So welcome to my filming studio. Bam! Probably haven't seen this for a while, but take a good look at it because it's going away. I am going to be transitioning my warehouse for the All About the Bait store from 2.0 to 3.0. So this space has kind of got to go so I can have more room for more products. But in the meantime, I figured it'd be a good time to give you guys a bit of a tour of my warehouse and see where the All About the Bait merchandise is held and shipped from. So let me give you a tour. Now a little history before we get started. The All About the Bait store actually got started in Key West. I had a little place there. It was kind of a studio with a one-bedroom attachment to it, around 400 square feet. When I left there, I probably had 350 square foot All About the Bait store and about 50 square foot of living space. It was packed from floor to ceiling, wall to wall, as much as I could get in there. And that was pretty much the end of the store if I couldn't find more room. So I ended up finding this house in Marathon, going from 400 to around 1,300 square foot. Plus having a full-on front yard where I could park a trailer, and then a whole side driveway where you could do a boat trailer and such, and then a full wraparound back and side, which gives me plenty of room for my kayak, and then a sealed-in patio so I can store all my tools and stuff. So a lot of outside space as well as the inside space. Now 2.0 was basically maximizing all the internal space that I had in here with the addition of my furniture and normal living stuff. Well, we're at the point now where I'm kind of maxed out of having both of those. So 3.0 is going to be eliminating the house stuff and going more towards full-on warehouse space. And then once that's maxed out, we'll have to see how it goes. Right now I'm just doing the transition, just kind of working out the spacing. We're right at the beginning of hurricane season, so I'm going to cut down on my new product shipments, and I've got a few more orders of replenishment coming in, but then I'm going to stop receiving stuff until the fourth quarter, late November, early December, when there's less risk of a hurricane. This house is in a flood prone area, so that's a big risk. So I'm going to try to minimize that as much as possible, but I still need to get everything moved around, add the storage racks and so forth, get everything organized, and then when that new stuff hits in the fourth quarter, I could just get it arranged and go from there. So that is kind of where we are at. So let me show you what 2.0 looks like. Alright, so this is basically the home photo studio there. This will all be going away. I'll be using the sofa in place of my desktop chair, and then get rid of the coffee table, the end table, and then block off that wall, and the lamp will be gone. So this takes up probably about a third, almost a half of the living room space. So that's the main area that I'm going to free up. You can kind of see I used two general racks. I've already started the transition. These back racks used to be the larger rolling racks. These racks go for about $150 to $160 each. These I can get at Home Depot for about a $130, $125. So it's quite a bit of cost difference. What you have to remember is the merchandise on each rack has to generate $150 worth of profit margin before it covers the cost, before I start making money on it. So that's always kind of part of the planning there. You can't invest more into expenses than you're going to make. So it makes it a little bit risky there, but fortunately I make enough so I can do that. What I'm thinking about doing is just mirroring the racks on this side, and it has a little bit of space that I could use to stack boxes along that wall, and then just kind of have a U-shaped with all these racks here. Or I could just put 3 full runs and just have a one little narrow walkway that I can get down to and over, and that'll be my final transition. But that's kind of where we've got going so far here. This back wall is my shrimp wall. So it's primarily is Schminnows on the top, and then Esky shrimps, the rigging kits for those, and then the bottom row are all my top water baits that I sell. And got some chum cages, and these are my visors and beanies that I sell. Don't sell a lot of those, so they kind of can go up on top, and that takes up that space. This rack here is my paddle tails, all the different type of paddle tails that I've got, from 9-inch, 5-inch, 4-inch, 2 5/8 inch, and then 3-inch overstock. Got my snagging hooks. I got to pour some more lead there. This side here is all my jig heads and bucktails. So we got the fish head jig heads. These are the cobra jig heads, bucktails, and then extra stock up on top. And this one is my flukes, 7-inch, 5-inch, 4-inch rigging kits, grouper and the grouper kits, and then my vertical jigging kits. So that kind of makes up my tackle side of it for some of it. On the entranceway, we got my kind of material for doing the shipping there. So all my shipping stuff, well, some of the shipping stuff, primarily just bags. I got my boxes elsewhere. And then we've got my working table here. This is probably the best investment I made. It's 8 foot long that I made. I have videos about making these using the old portable plastic racks there, and then just putting one of these laminate 4x8 sheets, cutting them down, and using these tables. So I've got, I think, 4 or 5 of these already, but very convenient. Got to have lots of room, not only for doing orders, but also for just packaging lures and stuff, because a lot of stuff I'm hand putting to assembling, so it gives me a lot of workspace. This is an Esky order. That by itself is my whole rent for the month just there, so I got to take that down to Key West. Up here are my new chum nets. These I've got my brand new ones. I've got them color coded now, so I've got 3/4 inch in the black, 1.25 inch in the blue, and then the brand new 1-inch emerald I just released. Just got these in. I got the first shipment of 100, and then I've got 900 more of these coming, which is another reason why I need storage space. So that is kind of the general tackle room. Next is basically the desktop work area here, where I process orders for All About the Bait, and then also do my video editing here. I've just got a laptop docking space there, so I could take the laptop, and it's still powerful enough to do my editing, but then All About the Bait stuff as well. Got my old work board there. I've got 4 printers on this side. So I've got my Rollo, which I primarily use as my main label printer. I have the Dymo, it's a dual one, and then a third Dymo. So I have 3 different styles of labels already preloaded in those. Makes it quicker so you don't have to change them out. And then I have a laser printer for doing invoices and anything that I need to print out. Just got the new router system because they upgraded this whole zone, this area. They ran new internet lines. So all the old modems and routers stopped working because the new software upgrade. So I had to get a new router and modem, but that's kind of the setup here. The transition, this guy's going to go. I'm going to move the sofa to over here. Move those racks behind it so they're lined up behind it. Sofa here, and then that'll be just kind of my comfortable workstation there. So that's kind of that. One thing with this space with the living room is it's got wraparound windows, so they're all bay windows across here. One, that's horrible for converting this into a hot box because of the sun, especially during summertime. And 2, if you do retail stuff, you don't want light hitting your products, because like saltwater is horrible for corrosion to your fishing gear. Sunlight is very detrimental to any type of merchandise, especially fabric like shirts or any colored material, or the heat for soft plastics. So I've got everything blinds with the blackout window coverings to keep it basically keep the sun out there and no lights. So generally all these lights are off when I'm not actually functionally working there, because that is detrimental, like I said. So that's kind of these two sections. Next we'll transition from the living room area to the kitchen area. One of the things I'd emphasize, as you start growing like an online business or where you're doing shipping supplies are a big thing. This is very little of what I use. These are just the common stuff, but I'll have boxes pretty much everywhere, just dependent on the item. One thing you have to remember is for every item that you sell, you need to have a package or a box for that individual item. But then you'll have to also have boxes if you sell that item with something else you sell. So you have to have variables. So you're going to see boxes and bags everywhere in my place. I probably average about $5,000 on stock of supplies just for the shipping side of it. It gets very pricey. Here is probably my most valuable rack in regards to turnover. These are the old yellowtail snapper jigs. I've got 5 different colors, 3 sizes, and then a mix pack, so 4 packages. And then I also sell the 75 pack, so that's an additional one there. I sell a lot of those, but then I have a lot of inventory in these, probably $10,000 or $15,000 floating inventory on those alone. Next we've got this rack. This rack actually shifts over in front of here because back there is my bedroom. If you want to know more about that, you can just kind of ask your mom, but otherwise this is my CUDA tube rack here. So all my CUDA tube stuff plus the mass CUDA tubes there. This is actually going to get doubled up because I don't like it at the moment because I'm mixing products, and it'd be a lot easier if every type had their own box. These have to be sealed and out of the light because they'll discolor. So I keep them in these cardboard boxes like that. This rack here is probably, I've got a bunch of chump stuff on it at the moment, but this rack I'll probably use as a startup of a secondary one where it's going to have the rest of my CUDA tubes, and then I'll make a workstation right below it with more room here, just like a table, and then that's where I'll assemble a lot of my CUDA tubes when I need to. As we move on farther over here, this is my weighted circle hooks. I've got 5 different colors with one more color covering, which is the glow, and I'll have that here within the month. But right now I've got the pink, white, chartreuse, and plain. So those are the 4, and then see 1, 2, 3, 4 different sizes, and then a mix pack for all of those. So red, white, pink, and chartreuse, and then glow is coming. This is one of the larger closets, and this is basically my embroidery hats. So I've got all my All About the Bait hats there, Live Bait Matters, all the different designs. And these are my floppy fishing hats, very popular. Sell a ton of those. That's probably my most valuable thing that I actually use for sun protection, sight fishing, and one of the few items that I will turn around and go back to the dock and run to my car if I forget that type of thing. Up above there is just silver and gold 4-inch soft plastics. I buy them by the pallet loads. Just the silver and gold in the 4-inch. That's kind of my meat and potatoes there, so I don't ever want to be out of those, and I get a better buy that way. Now we got this thing here, all these boxes here. These are my first order, well, my sample order and my first order of the chum rings, which are basically these or those up there. And then I've got 900 more of the emerald, the 1-inch coming, and then I'll be done with that lineup. I'll have the full assortment that I want to carry. So just basically need to double this stack up. And this is one of the reasons why I need to transition the the photo studio out, and then more racks, and then storage along that sidewall for just these style boxes, since that's kind of be an issue there. Normal kitchen here. This is my sourdough starter. I just fed it there, so that's one of the things I'm working on there. And yeah, that's about it here for the kitchen side of it. Here I could do 4 of these rolling racks. Once these are gone, I could do 4 rolling racks fairly comfortably in the kitchen, and that will basically max out the kitchen, so not a lot of space here. Next we go through the hallway, and like I said, I'm gonna have boxes everywhere. This is actually for a lineup that I am not going to do. So I bought all these boxes, and I'm not gonna sell that product line yet. I'm going to go a different route, and it looks like I'm going to have to do my own line, so I've got the boxes for it at least. And down here we've got the bathroom. I don't have any merchandise in here, but I use this as my kind of a gauge. Once I start adding merchandise in the bathroom, then I know we're getting close to the point of saturation, and I might have to step up to stage 4. But otherwise, no merchandise in there. Then we come to here, which is the main bedroom, and this is my apparel shop basically in here. I wanted to keep this separately for 2 reasons. One is, again, the light protection. I only have the lights on in here when I'm pulling merchandise, and then other than that, it's blocked off. And 2, for humidity control. I've got a window mount air conditioner back here, and I could run that every day for half an hour, and it just kills any humidity in here, because you have to be careful down here. Any type of merchandise in the key that will rust, even fabric will rust if it sits on any metal object, or if you have any type of metal snaps, whatever, things just rust and stain. So got everything blocked out from the sun, and then minimal lights when I need it. Again, we've got more of the larger racks. Those work perfect for different types. Like I could hold, like this one style shirt, I have medium, small, medium, large, extra large, 2XL, 3XL. So a full lineup fits in this shelf. So I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different designs there. And then there's this little gap space, so I could do 1 more design along the edge. So for each rolling rack, I could do 7 different designs of a standard small to 3XL. So I've got the Jeff the Designer shirts here, the UPF 50s dye sublimation shirts. And then I've got the other rack there, another 7. This side has all of my face masks there. I've got 100 or something, I think, different varieties of face masks. Probably, I think I'm at almost 60-40 stock masks, and then 40% my All About the Bait custom face mask there. So that's a great option. Before, it was a great seller before the COVID. During COVID, you could sell these as much as you wanted to. I wouldn't sell to resellers, and I didn't sell them to non-fishing people. So I stayed in stock, and I have good reputations with my suppliers, so they didn't put me at the back of the line. So I kept a decent stock even through the initial part of COVID. Now I don't sell a ton of them, but what I do is I mate them with the shirts and then sell almost everything with a combo. You get a shirt and you get a free matching face mask. And that's part of my pillar number 3, which is sun protection. So you can get the SPF 50 shirt, but it's a lot better if you also have a mask, cover your face, your neck, and so forth. So that's why I just kind of throw those in. I have a secondary workstation here. So it's got the full up computer system, scale. I use a Dymo 4XL for this one. And then all my packaging supplies and some more boxes for merchandise in here. I've got 2 walk-in style closets behind here and behind there. And those have all storage boxes and packing material all within those there. So boxes and packages are the key. This 2 racks here, same deal, but these are, the top half are my hooded plain shirts, and the bottom is just the plain shirts. Sell a ton of these for people who were like me, because the things that I wore prior to opening up the All About the Bait store was no logo, just fishing shirts. I didn't want to advertise anybody else's. I just wanted a plain fishing shirt with sun protection. And that's all I wore if you watch my earlier videos. So I ended up just getting my supplier to send me the plain shirts, no printing. And I sell a ton of these because there's people like me that don't want to be a walking billboard normally. So, bam, I sell a ton of those. So just miscellaneous stuff there. Moving on, again, the storage stuff. And then this side has t-shirts. This side has more of the prints and the hoodeds on there, as well as the guide shirts along the bottom. I need to, this company that did my guide shirts, made the actual shirts, stop selling them. So I'm going to have to probably custom make my own guide shirts. So that's another project that'll be coming up. Not this year though. These are all kids face masks, dehookers. These are the arm coverings. So for those people that like to wear plain t-shirts, which I don't recommend, cover up. But if you were just t-shirt guy, but then you want the sun protection, you could just use the arm shields there. And then gloves, all the different gloves I've got there. Then we've got more of the Jeff the Designer. These are all the Kudas and the bridge shirts here. And this is another rack. This is the only expansion rack that I've got left. Right now I've just got samples of my Schminnows and Eskys, 1 box of each. So when I get down, sell my overstock, like all that up there is Schminnows. And I'll show you my other buck. It goes three boxes deep of just Schminnows. But once I sell all those and then I come down to my singles, then I know that I have to do a reorder before I sell out. But this rack can be cleared out. And then this 4th quarter, I'm looking to add custom printed Jeff the Designer shirts in a hooded version. The dye sublimation shirts, the cut and sew shirts, but in a hooded version. And then also the heavy duty fleece pullover hooded wintertime shirt I haven't carried before, and just have a simple All About the Bait logo on the front of it, probably just black, and then I need a rack for that. So this is my only space I can expand for apparel, so I gotta make it count. Otherwise, as you can see, we're pretty full in here. I don't have a lot of room for that, but that'll definitely require an expansion if I want to grow my apparel line. All right, we're out of here. And these boxes here are all apparel, new stuff. These are part of my resupplies. These are all the hooded shirts, and these are the replenishment of the black All About the Bait t-shirt. And then I also added the blue color as well, the t-shirts, $15 free shipping. They're a great entry-level customer appreciation shirt type of thing. People just want a quickie and cheap logoed shirt there. And this is also going to be one of my giveaways for my Patreon, so I'm working on that next. Next, we've got the utility room, washer dryer, my new beautiful freezer. Did a video about that. But in here, I've got another one of the big $150 racks. This has my Schminnows and Esky shrimp on there. So that's another supply of those. These are more chum bags. These are the white bags there. This is a video that'll be coming up. These are my chum ball ingredients. So I've got 100 pounds of oats there, sand. So I'm going to be showing you all the different ways of sand balling and yellowtail slop and all that stuff. So I'll be coming up here pretty quick. And that's kind of this room, and that leads into my tackle room. And the Keys Kayak Fishing, one of my viewers sent me that. It's pretty cool. And this is my photo studio slash tackle room. So I'll do a lot of the product photos here. Right now I'm working on with my ultrasonic cleaner, getting that all dialed in with different chemicals and containers and stuff as my new favorite toy, money saving toy there. But basically I've got my big digital camera that hangs off of here, and then I could take overhead photos of whatever products. Here's a sneak peek. This is my first All About the Bait, my own personalized customized hook. That's for a upcoming product line there. That's going to be pretty significant for me. But this is the first hook I've fully designed myself, and going to be doing a production run of that, and then I can start doing the actual the jig that goes with it there. So that's coming up there. All my bass gear. This is just pretty much a sampling, the All About the Bait shirts that I actually physically wear. It's a mix between fishing shirts that I use for fishing and then my everyday wear. Backspace of stock of masks. These are all the All About the Bait backup masks there. Got some more stuff up there. This is a new product line that I will release, and I'm going to grow this one. I was thinking about it, but these are do I even have any here? They're bait dip nets with extendable handles. So I'm going to start selling the lineup of those. I got a couple of them to start with, and then I'm going to do a full line of assortment of different baits and bait tossers for chumming with pilchards and all that stuff. This is all my Esky rods, my everyday use, everyday carry fishing rods there. And I think I did a video about this tackle room here, fly stuff up there. Not too much All About the Bait product. I do have my lead pouring stuff along the bottom with all my molds for the custom jig heads, the snagging hooks that I do. I also do weights, but I'm not sawing those yet. I'm thinking about it. Very popular stuff, but then again, I sell or offer free shipping, so selling lead is not the most cost effective. Plus, it takes time if you're going to do volume of lead, and I'm not really into that. I've got it narrowed down. I need to get rid of all this stuff. Needs to go. I don't use. This is all my photo or part of the stuff that I use for taking product photos. I can't resell them. I don't use them that fast, so they kind of sit there. And then just all my components for different stuff. Fly tying, jig building. Yeah, all the little knickknack. This is my real fixing and building stuff, and just miscellaneous. Oh, that's my photo box. Before I had my photo table, I had a light box that I made there. So that is the tackle room there, slash third bedroom. Always more boxes. But yeah, I like my room having this thing here. It's nice. This was actually, I just cleared out. This was entirely full of boxes where you couldn't really even walk in it, because that was that product line that I was going to carry, but then ended up giving it all back because I changed my mind on it. And heading out, this is my go box. I kind of keep the miscellaneous stuff that I'll use dependent on the technique, offshore, inshore, flats, the camera stuff that I would need for that type of video I'm going to make, and just make it really quick and easy so I grab it, because I'm good at forgetting stuff. But I've got this good covered and mosquito blocked area here for all my tools and stuff. Here's that product line I was going to carry there, which is a full line of pinfish traps and cages. But the costing on both materials and shipping just this last couple months have gone crazy, so it just wasn't going to work out. My strategies on these product lines that I carry is, because it's very narrow, is I want to own those markets. So if I'm getting into this, I want to be the only seller in the Florida Keys that are going to sell these. So I want to basically sell these at half the price that the vendors are selling them down here, so everybody buys from me. And the only way I could do that is basically get truckloads of these things. So that's kind of why it just didn't work out at the moment. So I got to figure out a new plan to do that. But that's a lot of my products that I do, is just I want to own that whole product line because it's that important. Then we got the old fillet station there. I did a video about that. Good boy there. And out back, got plenty of space wrap around back here. Got my 3 kayaks, the barbecue. Not so much all about the bait stuff, but this is the kayak fishing stuff that generates the sales as well. But plenty of space for my just fishing gear here out of the way. But then I've got plenty of space for a trailer. If I ever got a boat with a trailer, I could park it here. And then the front yard is open as well. So I've got my trailer, kayak trailer out in front. So motorcycles there on the way, car parks on the side. So worked out perfectly in regards to the space. So everything worked out good for this place. Just got to see how long it'll last. All right, so that is my warehouse tour. As you can see, it's starting to definitely lean towards the warehouse side, especially as we transition into 3.0 and beyond. But it is what it is. Got to do what you got to do. Before I let you go, let me give you a little history about the actual All About the Bait store. Now, when I decided to do that, I knew that there was 3 core pillars that I wanted to build it upon. So let me explain those. Now, the first pillar was items that I actually use, whether it be back in the 90s through the whole YouTube years. You'd see me using the same items over and over again, and that makes an easy transition to selling merchandise when you've been using it the whole time and you show history with it. It's not just, oh, look what this new lure I found, it's the best and greatest, let's go give it a try. And you've never even known or even used it before. Whereas, like I said, I've got all this history with majority of this merchandise I sell. I know it works. I've shown that it works. Now I'm offering it for sale. Pillar number 2 is Florida Keys specific merchandise. Now, the Florida Keys fishery is actually quite technical. We have so many sports species, and there's so many different techniques to catch those species, it can be very complicated. But actually there's a split there, okay? You have the conchs, the multi-generational fishing families, you've got the professional guys, the commercial fishermen, and even the long-term recreational fishermen that have been here for many years, and they figured out the fishery. They tried everything, they adjusted, and they know what works and what doesn't. You go on a locals boat, they have a little tackle box, it's got a couple different items, and that's it, because they know what works. On the flip side, you have the iCast, the social media people that, oh, you got to have this newest and greatest 2022 item. If you're not using this lure, you're not going to catch fish type of side of it, okay? And that's what gets promoted. Now, the problem lies in the retail side of it. Now, these retail shops and distributors have to decide to where they put their money in. Now, they know these new items are being promoted like crazy everywhere, and that's what the fishermen that follow those, the majority of people, are going to be coming into their stores and asking for. So they take their investment money and that's what they pump it into, and they take it away from the money for that old school 50-year-old items that consistently work, but they don't have any pizzazz to them, and people on the new side aren't looking for those. And those merchandise kind of fall by the wayside. They don't get produced anymore. They become harder to find and so forth. And that's where I come in, is I go back and I start looking. The guy that used to teach me, the Esky, the guys, the commercial people, I talk to them and I see what they use, and that's what I focus in on, and that's what I offer. And then I automatically have all these people that, oh, I've been looking for those. You got them, great. And then they buy them from me. And then those people that buy this newest and greatest stuff and they find out it doesn't work, they ask the veteran people, oh, what do you use? Oh, that's easy. You just use this. Go to All About the Bait, just order this and this. And then I have those people transition as well. So it really worked out, and that's why that pillar is so important. And the third pillar is sun protection, okay? The sun could be very brutal down here. Our clientele a lot of times is the mainland, where half the year they're in gray clouds, snow, rain, sleet, okay? They don't see the sun for months on end. And then they come down here, and in the first couple days they get burned to a crisp, and then they're miserable for the week. So I emphasize sun protection, the big fishing hat, fishing face mask, UPF 50 shirts, gloves, okay, cover up. And plus bug protection as well. So that's also one of my pillars of kind of guiding people towards on a consistent basis. All right, so there you go. That is my warehouse. That is my AllAboutTheBait.com store. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you next video. Bye.